I don't think most people would want to be me. They may think they would want to be me, but they don't. They don't know. They don't understand.
Most people think that having money, power, and fame brings lots of happiness in their life. When the result is that when you see a lot of billionaires in the world, you don't see them so much happy. I mean, they are supposed to be happy, right? But they are not as happy as you expect them to be. Now, why is this the case? Hello, friends. I'm a yogi from Nepal, and I spend countless hours in meditation. During meditation, I've gone into very deep states where my heartbeat has literally stopped, and I come out of meditation after hours and then realize my heartbeat has also stopped. And during that time, I get a lot of knowledge in meditation, and which I'm going to try to put in front of you guys totally for free. So let's start this video. During my meditation, friends, what I've realized is that expectation about being rich and being very happy, it lies only inside our head. While the reality, the core reality is everywhere, right? So reality doesn't have to be present inside a small place inside somebody's head. But most people think that when they get a lot of money, they have to be very, very, very happy, and they reach a point where they have everything. All the happiness that they ever dreamt of comes with money or belongingness or power. That's why they chase money, that's why they chase power all their life. But have you ever wondered, you are chasing so much money, so much power all your life? A lot of other people are chasing, but have you looked at the billionaires? Have you looked at the politicians? Have you looked at these powerful people and wondered why are they not exactly so much happy like we expect them to be? What I've seen in my deep, intense meditation is that money, all money can buy is goods and services of people, all these artificial things that people made for people. People made for people so that other people who have higher purchasing power can buy from them and then maybe fulfill something that is absent in their life. And what I saw in my meditation is that yes, it does make them happy. It does make them happy. It does keeps on making them happy. But how long can you keep on being happy just with materials only? You can buy let's say a little bit like a bicycle, then you need a motorcycle. Then you buy a motorcycle, you need a car. Then when you buy a car, you need a helicopter. When you buy a helicopter, you need a private jet, and then it goes on and on forever, right? So where is the end? That is the question. What I saw in meditation was that nothing in this world is absolute, okay? Everything is relative, everything is comparable. You know, Albert Einstein, he discovered this theory of relativity that applies into physics. It applies everywhere in our life also, okay? So let's say somebody is very rich, okay? Very rich. He looks at a poor person, he thinks he's rich. He'll then find out somebody else who is richer than him, and he wants to be like that person, and he feels miserable in relativity to that person. And then another person who is richer than that guy looks at another guy, and then he feels, hey, this goes on and on forever, right? That is why at any given point, you pick any rich person from here to there, any rich person, he will have somebody always at the top of him and somebody at the bottom of him. Looking at the person who's of him, he will think that I am richer than these people, all these people. But when he looks at another person, he's more richer than him, so he's not satisfied, right? And when there's no satisfaction, there's no completeness into something, then you feel incomplete. And when you feel incomplete, that means not absolute happiness. That's why absolute happiness can never be found in material things. This is what I concluded. But then again, what is the absolute happiness then? And where do we get absolute happiness from? Everybody is trying to get absolute happiness, and the thing that people mostly believe where they can get this absolute happiness is from money. Money, 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 belongingness, property, gold, whatever you may call. But then look at the topmost richest person in the world today, right? Elon Musk, right? He's like net worth of $750 billion today. Most of you cannot even imagine that much amount of money in your head. We are fighting for little bit of money and collecting little bit of money and thinking that this is going to bring happiness. It doesn't bring happiness. Maybe more money will bring happiness. You work harder, you get the money. It still doesn't get you more happiness, right? Let's look at the topmost person like Elon Musk. Why is Elon Musk saying in this interview that you guys don't want to be me?
I don't think most people would want to be me. They may think they would want to be me, but they don't. They don't know. They don't understand.
So I concluded from my meditation that the real happiness does not come from getting and collecting more man-made stuff or man-made services and getting surrounded by a lot of people that you don't need and getting surrounded by a lot of things that you don't even need in your life. You know, I understood that all the natural things that are there in the world are free for everybody, for plants, animals, birds, insects, human beings. Let's say sunlight, sunlight is free for everyone. Food, the best food is the organic food, grows on the soil, free for everyone. Water, the best water is from the natural fountains, natural springs, free for everyone. So nature has given us everything free. The most valuable things are free in life. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I saw in my meditation. All the valuable things, the most valuable things that are going to make us happy, healthy, come from nature. So the only difference between rich people and poor people here is the ability or the purchasing power that they have to buy all these things that are man made. And yes, to some extent, these man made goods and man made services give you happiness, bring happiness. When you don't have something, you get something. There's something like a dopamine boost in your brain, and then you get the happiness of getting that thing that you wanted. But then what will happen? Will you be content with that forever? No, I think you will want something more. So you will have to put more effort, work more harder to get something more. And then it keeps on growing. There's literally no end till the point you reach being like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates, then you still are not satisfied. You know why Elon Musk is, having all this money in the world and he's still doing space research and trying to just put humanity on Mars and doing all these kinds of things. He wouldn't have any necessity to do all these things if money alone could make people happy. Because if money and outside belongingness could make people happy, then when you reach the level of Elon Musk, you should stop there, right there, because there's nothing more. You are the richest person in the world, right? But then why richest person in the world is not very happy, says that he's miserable, and he works harder and harder and harder again, it seems like he's still trying to find happiness, right? So isn't it time for us to learn from the richest person in the world, richest people in the world, that when they get to the level where you people dream of, we all dream of, and they reach that level, they still not satisfied, they're still changing their goalposts, they're still not very happy, they're still feeling incomplete. That means money does not bring complete happiness. But then the question comes, where exactly is complete happiness? Where exactly is the complete happiness that we all are working for, we all are thinking about? In my deep meditation, I realized that perfect happiness or absolute cannot be attained while going through relative path, means that comparable path. During my deep meditation, I realized that what is absolute or the absolute happiness can never be achieved by going on the path of relativity, where you are constantly competing with other people, constantly competing and working harder to collect something better than other people, and then collecting, maybe collecting, maybe comparing with yourself later on, and then trying to collect more than what you already have today. This journey is endless, and then there's no happiness in this. Of course there's happiness, like, yes, of course, I did this, I did that, I collected this many money, I built this house, I bought this car. But what about the absolute happiness we talked about? Where does this end? What I saw in deep meditation was that, of course, you have to work hard, of course you have to do all these things, of course having money is better than not having money, having a little bit of money or more money also is better than not having money at all. But that alone is not the goal of life. That alone can never bring you absolute happiness in life. But then what is the absolute happiness? I found out that absolute happiness is in simplicity, is in finding out who you are, as is in being who you are and knowing who you are. Now you will say that, of course, I know who I am. Of course, I am trying to be me all the time. But then why am I not happy? The answer is, you are not trying to be you. You are not trying to be yourself. You think you are you. You think you are being yourself, but you are not. Because what you are being is your mind. And mind is full of relativity. Mind is full of comparability. So you have to try to go beyond the senses, try to go beyond the mind, try to find out who you are actually. And when you find out who you are, when you realize who you are, then when you become one with the cosmic consciousness itself, first of all, you have to find out who you are to become one with the cosmic consciousness. Because if you don't even find out who you are, you think you are mind, you are being mind, you are living in the world by being a mind, not by being yourself. When you go beyond the senses, going beyond the mind, and try to find who you are and connect that yourself, your true self, which is completely separate from the mind, separate from all this relativity, that absolute self with the absolute self of the universe. And when we connect with that, we call that yoga in Sanskrit language. The literal meaning of yoga is to join or to connect with. So what you are connecting with, you are connecting your own self with the supreme self. Then happiness comes itself. It's so free. Remember, I told you before in this same video that all the priceless things, all the greatest things are free in nature. So happiness is also a priceless thing. It must be free also, right? It should not be something that you can buy from the market. Of course, you can buy things and spark a little bit happiness within you and then become happy momentarily and then again go towards misery. But real happiness comes, absolute happiness comes for free in life. And to get that free happiness, just like the free sunlight, free water, free food that I talked about before, should the method also should be free. The method also should be very, very simple. The method also should be approachable by everybody regardless of who you are, right? So that is the science here. So the first step is to find out who you are. Not the mind, not the senses, not the body, not the eyes, not the ears, not these all these things that you have to carry on to live in this world, but who you exactly are inside this, who you exactly are inside this body, who you exactly are functioning from the mind, what gives power to the mind, what you are actually. You have to find that out, and then you have to try to find out what exactly is there in the universe. And when you connect yourself with that universal cosmic spirit, then all that knowledge, all that blessings, all that pure joy comes to you. And that's what is the absolute happiness that you cannot buy in the market. That's what is the absolute happiness that you cannot compare with any other happiness that you can get by buying things from money, which is always comparable, right? And what is comparable is never absolute, like I already told. When something is comparable, that means it's incomplete. It has to be incomplete. And when something is incomplete, you will want more. And when there is something you want more all the time, that means you are not self-contained. That means you are not happy. And that's what is happening with the billionaires. And that's what is happening with all the millionaires. You look at them, you want to be them, you want to be like them, but then you wonder, why are they not so happy? Why are they not exploding with happiness? Why does a farmer working in a farm looks more happy than a billionaire sometimes? Why do some people with or without money are happy and why some people are not? And the answer is what I told you already in this video. With that being said, I don't want this video to go too long because I have to upload a lot of other videos in other topics like this kind of topic later in the future also. I tell you things about things that are unseen that I can see through meditation. So if you want to connect with me, you may subscribe. Although I do not forcefully tell you you have to subscribe, you may subscribe, like, and comment if you like, right? So I give that freedom to you. So with that being said, I'll end this video for now. See you in the next video. Thank you.